All right, there we go. We're live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Welcome to everyone who's tuned in on our live stream around the country. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint. I'm going to be spending about 45 minutes with you. We're going to go through a little bit of background on us as a business, what the opportunity is all about, what the benefit is for you. After the presentation, you are welcome to come chat to me, ask me any questions that you might have. I think Jane and maybe one of the client service ladies, Anna's here this morning, so if you have any admin requirements, you're welcome to ask them. All right, so let's begin. As you can see, we're a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. So Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We were founded in 1952. We have been operating in the financial space, particularly in the insurance space, very successfully for the last nearly 70 years. You probably don't recognize the name of the brand. That's because Constantia have never dealt with consumers before. They've never been direct to public. They are a so-called B2B company, not a B2C company. But you will become a lot more familiar with this company as we go on, especially if you do join us here at DuePoint. The FSP number is that one that you see over there. We've got a host of Financial Services Board licenses, so you can go check those out on our website. They're also on display outside here in the foyer above the water cooler. You'll go see all the certificates up on the wall. We've got a long and short-term insurance license. We've got an investment license. We've got our FSP license. We take credibility very seriously. For any transaction to happen, there needs to be trust involved in that transaction. And so I hope that I've allayed any credibility issues. You're welcome to go check out our website. We are listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange under a group called Conduit Capital. The managers and executives here at DuePoint are these individuals. The first three on the far left, Brendan, Tim and Stacey, are our accountants in the business. So they are registered CAs in South Africa. Mr. Benfield is our senior executive. He heads up this division. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance. His father has been involved in insurance his entire life, so I guess Brendan and his brother Stuart grew up only knowing the insurance business, and they decided to follow in their father's footsteps and get involved in insurance too. So Dr. Brian Benfield, Brendan's dad, started Clientele Life, which is probably one of the biggest long-term insurers in the country. He started the IFA. They've got businesses in Europe. They've helped found businesses in Australia. Brendan and his brother then went on along with their father and some investors and started a business down the road called Prime Meridian Direct, or PMD, and PMD is the fourth biggest short-term insurer in the country. So they've got wonderful success in that space, a lot of experience. Tim and Stacey, they look after all the other accounting requirements in our business, so that's fairly important. Although it sounds fairly boring, that's why I never became an accountant. But they look after the auditing aspects, a lot of the financial regulatory aspects that we have to look after. And then the two non-accountants are Jane and myself. So Jane is very experienced in network, referral, direct sales, that aspect of marketing. She's from the UK. She's been doing it pretty much all her life. She's been in South Africa, though, for about a decade now. And her experience is very important to us as a business because we're an insurance business. But the marketing model that we've adopted is one of network marketing or referral marketing, and so that's where Jane's experience comes to the fore. And then myself, I've been working, just looking if I'm dressed the same in the photo. I've been working in advertising, branding and design for about 25 years. I ran my own digital agency for about 15 years. Our agency also worked quite heavily in the financial space. We did a lot of work for the big banks in South Africa. But that's our senior team. We've got client service staff. We've got our admin staff. But the mandate of all the staff of DuePoint is to support people that join us in this business. So we want to see you being effective in this business. We want to see you, more importantly, being profitable in this business and ultimately happier in this business. It serves our interests too as a company, and so there is great collaboration that takes place between us and you, and we want to support you in every aspect that we can. So push into that support. All right. Very quickly, we look at the personal finance circumstance that people find themselves in. I don't have to labor too much on the pain that we're experiencing because you will know your own position, right? But if we look at it from a macro point of view, we get a lot of statistics from the Financial Services Board that pretty much tells us the state of affairs with regards to personal finance, and it is only getting worse. It is only getting worse. I mean, in all aspects. Property rentals, people aren't paying property rent. People aren't paying debit orders. Dr. Benfield came to visit us on Friday, and he was saying he's never seen so many debit orders bouncing in insurance businesses that he's ever seen before. And so the economy is taking an effect on people. And it's primarily due to the fact of inflation and unemployment. More of us are having to support the unemployed. I was speaking to my wife's father, who actually used to work at Implats. I don't know if you've seen Implats is now in the newspapers because they're going to be retrenching about 3,500 people. My father, who's a mining engineer too, was saying in the Rustenburg region, one employed person there, particularly in mining, supports up to 10 people. Now you've got Implats that is looking to retrench 3,500 people. That's mean between 35,000 and 40,000 people are suddenly going to become destitute overnight just because of retrenchments, right? So the economy is making us suffer. Salaries are, on average, only increasing by 2% a year. Inflation, the cost of living, your groceries, fuel, all of that is increasing by 4.5% a year. And that's been happening year on year for the last 7 years, right? And we are starting to feel it. People that come to look at this presentation are people that want to take control over their income. We're tired of being the subject of economy, of companies, of business, of what your boss thinks of you. All these things, these factors that we have no control over. In this business, you can take control over your income, and that's what our business is about. So, 2.5 years ago, in February 2016, Constantia launched this division called DuePoint, with the DuePoint system in mind. Our business is about wealth creation. So to explain that a little bit further, wealth creation is not only the ability to make extra income. You can be earning 200,000 Rand and not be wealthy. You might be thinking, well, how do you do that? Anyone earning 200,000 Rand sounds wealthy to me, right? Because they make the decision to behave like consumers. They go buy a Range Rover for 2 million Rand. They buy the spouse another car for 1.5 million Rand. They live in a house that costs 10 million Rand. And their money gets dried up every single month because they're paying the bank the loan back, right? They're not wealthy. They don't own any assets that are creating income for them. That is the definition of wealth, right? And if I say DuePoint is about wealth creation, well, it goes without saying that we're not only about income generation. One of the biggest aspirations we have in this business for people is that you get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. This is a lesson I struggle with myself too, right? To actually aspire to empowering yourself to get rid of debt as quickly as possible. To not go, well, you don't have to pay a 20-year bond off over 20 years. Try pay it off in 10 years. You don't need 6 years to pay off a car, especially not a car with residual or balloon payments. Don't go there, right? Get rid of that debt as quickly as possible, right? Empower yourself through a business like this to do that. You are then empowered with the opportunity to start creating wealth. You create wealth through the ownership of assets, right? Because if you've gotten rid of all of your debt, you can now use money to purchase assets. So that can be in the form of property, investments, whatever it is, right? There's lots of different forms of assets. And hopefully those assets will appreciate with time and create income for you going forward. So that's how we think here at DuePoint, right? It requires a paradigm shift for a lot of people because we have been raised to think like consumers. What we're trying to achieve in this business is to flip that on its head and go, stop thinking like a consumer, start empowering yourself to create wealth. Because we think ultimately that will create a little more happiness in the home, right? The lack of money causes a lot of unhappiness. Money doesn't guarantee you happiness, but at least we can mitigate all that risk and that unhappiness going forward. So that's really what our business is about. How does this actually work? Our guests this morning, you have the opportunity to join DuePoint. Once you join us, we refer to you as wealth engineers. So that's what we call everyone here. Wealth engineers. As wealth engineers, you are tasked with a single thing, and that is to build what we call a channel of distribution. This is an asset that you're going to be building here at DuePoint. I'll show you what a channel of distribution looks like, but it is basically you going out and connecting other people to this business. Right? That's why I said at the beginning, our marketing model here at DuePoint is one of referral marketing. And this is where you guys come in. You are the referring engine here at DuePoint. Well, that's where our dependence lies on you. And so if you can go out and refer other people to DuePoint's business opportunity, you're successful in that process. The people that you refer to us in turn become wealth engineers and product owners. Well, that is you being successful. And if you're successful in building your channel, there are a host of benefits that are waiting for you. Primarily, you get to create income. That's why you're here, really, right? That's what the person that invited you had told you about. Income, not blah, blah, wealth, this, debt, that. You're here for the money. Okay. The nature of the income that you produce here then in turn speaks back to wealth, because the income we produce here is what we refer to as recurring income. Some people refer to it as passive income. An investment term is annuity income. My father has got the best description of it. Making money while you're sleeping. That's a wonderful thing, right? Imagine you wake up and you're richer than what you went to bed with. That hasn't happened for me yet. I'm still working on that, right? I'm not allowed to be a wealth engineer. Conflict of interest, they tell me. These accountants and all their regulations. Right, so that's the nature of the income. To explain that a little bit further, what is recurring income? It's the ability where you have an asset that starts paying out your income, right? This has got some inherent benefits, because what we are all involved in as employees is active income. Active income is the antithesis of passive income, so it's the opposite. Active income, you have to be directly active and involved in creating that income, right? It's not only true for employees, but a lot of businesses too. Especially trade businesses, hairdressers, electricians, plumbers. They've got to be doing the stuff to generate the income. If you don't work in September, do you earn income at the end of September? No, that's a problem, right? That's a problem. It might not seem like a problem today, but when you get to retirement, it's going to become a big problem, right? Because when you hit retirement, you stop earning income. You stop working. But if you get involved in a business that creates an asset, and the asset is what is producing the income, then next month the asset doesn't disappear. You don't necessarily have to be actively involved in that asset. It's like having a second property. You don't have to be living there in the second property that you're renting out to get the income. The income just comes in, right? And that's why you want to focus your energy on creating recurring income. Power duplication is your opportunity to go out and find other people to help you do this business, right? That's where the collaboration comes in. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of the leverage that is available in this business, right? So this is something that's inherent in a lot of network companies. They will always tell you, oh, find more people, find more people. But do that, right? That's why network businesses can be so attractive. Network business has been around for over 100 years. Referral marketing has also been around for ages, right? What they've just done is they've monetized the referral marketing in network marketing companies. And so it's not some strange thing. Unfortunately, what's happened in the past is you get businesses that have now just labeled themselves network marketing businesses, and they run their remuneration schemes off of an Excel spreadsheet, right? They don't do the business properly. And unfortunately, there's stigma that now exists with network marketing businesses. Nevertheless, don't tar every company the same with the same brush, right? Look at the system and look at the leverage that's available to you. I'll explain it in a little more detail. FlexiTime, the technology that we've adopted here at DuePoint, allows you to run your business off your mobile phone. That means you can do this business wherever you are. You can be sitting in bed. You could be even on the toilet doing the business if you really wanted to, right? You can do this business any time of the day, anywhere in the country. There's no startup capital. We have designed this business to be as low risk as possible. I do not want to propose a business opportunity to you already in a burdened economy where you have to worry about the risk of getting engaged in this business. And so we've made and designed this business to have a very low barrier to entry. I want you to consider and even try DuePoint without the worry that there's risk involved. We don't have starter kits. We don't have registration fees. We don't have boxes of product that you have to buy up front, right? Easy to get involved in here at DuePoint, to at least try. No qualifications or experience required. I trust no one brought their CVs with them today. You get to build an asset. Now, this is important because we keep talking about wealth generation and assets, but know that your channel of distribution, which is your asset that you're building, you have legal tender over it. It means you have ownership over it, right? Of course, you want to own the asset, but there are some more benefits to that, right, to that statement. Number one, which we touched on, you can sell this business. Any asset can be sold, and so you can sell your channel of distribution. If it's producing 5,000 Rand a month, consistently, surely there's intrinsic value to that asset. You can sell it. We've had wealth engineers sell their channels. It also means when you get to retirement, when your active income ends, your assets don't, right? So your channel of distribution can be paying you recurring income through your 60s, through your 70s, through your 80s, through your 90s. And when you die at 122, right, they reckon we're all going to be living to some crazy age because of healthcare and advance in medical technology. Your asset doesn't disappear upon death. You can seed your asset in your will to your beneficiaries. You can pass wealth onto your children, which doesn't really happen in South Africa much, right? And so that empowers you to many things. There's no selling involved in our business, so our code of conduct actually contracts you out of selling. We tell you very explicitly you may not sell our financial products, right? That's because of a lot of regulatory reasons, right? And some common sense reasons too. But it's a good thing, because I imagine that the majority of the people here don't want to spend their weekends trying to convince their friends to buy insurance products, right? What we're going to be speaking about when we connect people to this business is discussing and telling people and connecting people to the business opportunity. The business opportunity that exists here at DuePoint. That's all that you have to worry about. I will tell everyone about our products, the benefits. Our website has got information on the products. Our YouTube channel has got information on the products. You do not worry about the products. The nature of our products being financial in nature means we don't have stock and distribution issues. Who brought a bakkie today thinking they're going home with boxes of product? Someone's left their boot open in the parking lot, right? And so the products in itself is convenient in this business. You'll never have to order stock. You'll never have to worry about stock levels. All that stuff that goes with stock and distribution, we don't have to deal with that. Your success at DuePoint is very much predicated on your ability to build a channel of distribution. So I said I'll show you what a channel of distribution looks like. It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer and a product owner here at DuePoint, and now you're going to go out and tell other people. So you might have to speak to 10 people to get 5 yeses. Those 5 yeses translate into people also wanting to earn recurring income. So they become wealth engineers and product owners. And from that point on, your channel will pretty much take on a life of its own. Right? Because the first 5 people that you introduced are now going to go out and tell other people about the business, because they also want the opportunity of creating their own channels, creating recurring income. And this is where the power duplication really takes place. This only happens after time. After time. Not 30 days, not 60 days. Time. We're talking years. Well, this particular case, this can probably happen in about... How many points are we out here? I don't know, 10 points. It can probably happen in less than a year, the diagram that you're looking at now, but it takes time. Unfortunately, the majority of people that join this business, they don't even get past month 3, right? They don't appreciate the time. I don't know why. I'm sure I told them, take time in the business, right? It's low risk. You are afforded the opportunity to take time because it's so low risk in this business. You have to be discerning when you connect those first 5 people. Right? There are 2 ways to build a business. You can build a business fast, desperately, and bring anyone that needs money into your business. Or you can build a little more discerning, slower, bring stronger people, less people into your business, and create something that's more sustainable. The former will be a weak business, and we see it a lot. We'll have people that come in and they just go crazy. We had one lady that came in, she was putting in 30 people a month. Right, into the business. 3 months later, she was like, it's just collapsed. It's collapsed. No one's paying. People aren't doing anything. And I said to her, you're not discerning enough in who you're connecting into this business. Right? Don't just find anyone to come into your business. You've got to think of yourself as a CEO. If a CEO is building their business, their board of executives, the directors, you don't let anyone off the street to be your board of directors. You want the strongest people at the top, right? Think of any organization. It always starts like that. If it's government, army, companies, it doesn't matter what the organization is. The strongest people are always at the top. If you do that for yourself, you will build a strong organization, a strong channel. Because my wish for wealth engineers is that they can build up this channel, and when it becomes sustainable enough, you don't have to nurse it every month. Imagine being in the position where you can take 3 months holiday. 3 months holiday. And know that DuePoint's going to pay you every single month because you've got a sustainable asset that's creating that income for you. Right? That's going to take a few years to get to. But I'm sure that it's worth working towards. So that's what a channel distribution looks like. Very quickly, success is not built overnight. It isn't in any aspect in life. You want a successful marriage? Blood and pain and anger, anguish. I don't think my wife's watching. Anything in life takes time. You need to work on yourself, right, to get to success. And so don't make the mistake of romanticizing entrepreneurship, because from the outside, successful entrepreneurship is very shiny. And you can make the mistake of dismissing successful people as just being more talented, luckier than you. But in actual fact, someone who's more successful than you has probably just worked harder than you, and they've earned it a little more. But it empowers you. Knowing that, it empowers you at the same time to realize that if it's just hard work, anyone can get there. Look at yourself in the mirror, forget about the past, and know that if you're willing to work on yourself and give yourself time, you can get anywhere in this business. All right? That's my warning to everybody. No one ever walks out after the warning. Everyone's willing to work hard. Good. All right, on to our products. So we've got 4 products here at DuePoint. Their benefit is all financial in nature. So the products are not arbitrary products. They're not just arbitrary insurance products. The products are designed with wealth in mind. So they're either designed to increase your wealth, protect your wealth, or to lower your monthly costs, right? All in aid of achieving wealth creation. Our first product is an investment product. It's Access Wealth. It's going to cost you 324 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand will be contributed into a tax-free investment fund, right? So that's the minimum contribution. You can bump that up all the way to 2,500 Rand a month, because local legislation allows us to contribute up to 33,000 Rand a year into a tax-free investment fund. So we start at 100 Rand. On top of that, you'll get given 120,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover. That is cover that covers you in the event of accident through death. Right? So if you have this investment in place, you're killed in any form of accident, we'll pay out your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand plus whatever is in the investment. The investment has no restriction period on it. Right? There's no delay period either. You can withdraw this money at any time. My tip to you, if it's an investment, don't withdraw it. Let it invest. Right, and grow. Then we've got our second product, Wealth Guard, is insurance only. It's personal accident cover only. It costs 249 Rand, but this time you get 1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. And the beauty of personal accident cover is that because it covers you only in the event of death through accident and not in the event of natural causes or illness, it means that this product becomes accessible, especially to people who typically can't get insurance. Right? So we don't discriminate against age, except for the young people. You've got to be 18 years and older. But you can be 50 years old. You can be diabetic. You can have a heart condition. You can still take out this product. The premium remains the same for everybody, and the amount of cover that you receive remains the same for everyone. All right? So this is Wealth Guard, the personal accident death cover. Then our third product is a new product called Family Wealth. It is a funeral cover product, if you're familiar with typical funeral cover products. It starts at 299 Rand. You get 20,000 Rands worth of funeral cover. It covers up to 5 family members, right? You also get 10,000 Rands worth of debt protection. So if you owe anyone money, we'll pay up to 10,000 Rand of that debt. And then there's flexibility built into this product. You can bump the cover up to 30,000 Rand, as well as up to 10 family members. Okay, so this is the funeral cover. The beauty of funeral cover is that it covers any death, so natural causes, illness, and accidents, and there's no excluded pre-existing conditions, right? So we're not going to send a nurse to you. We're not going to come do blood tests on you. We don't want you to fill out your entire medical history on a form, to declare anything, right? There are no pre-existing conditions here. And then finally is Wealth Points. Wealth Points is the product that's designed to lower your cost of living expenses. It's going to cost 299 Rand a month, and you get to enjoy discounts that we've negotiated with the list of companies that you see there. So we've tried to cover the whole spectrum of your cost of living. So if you think about money that you spend every month, that you have to spend every month, you can engage with some of these partners that we have here and lower that cost of living. So we've got data partners. We've got Shoprite Checkers, I mean, the biggest grocery chain in the country. You think about how much money we spend on groceries every month. We've got car manufacturers. We've got other online retailers. Hershey's is a big one. That's very popular. The Entertainer offers half price at restaurants and hotels, and this list is growing all the time. We're always looking for new partners, so this product evolves all the time. If you're looking for immediate benefit, Wealth Points is the product to have, because you can start benefiting straight away out of this product. All right, so those are the 4 products. Like I said, more info on our website. You can come chat to me. There's in-depth reviews on YouTube of each product. Very quickly, the reason why we can include members of the public and start paying out recurring income is the fact that we don't spend any money on marketing and advertising here at DuePoint. So traditional companies spend a fortune, especially insurance companies, like the company down the road, Prime Meridian. They spend a fortune daily on marketing and advertising. Their call center is dependent on that marketing that they do to get the calls to come in, to convert the calls to sales, right? Here at DuePoint, we don't have a call center. We don't have a marketing budget. We can take that portion of our budget and give it to our wealth engineers, because the wealth engineers are the people that we depend on to grow our brand in South Africa, right? And so we don't have to spend the millions that the insurance industry spends typically on insurance. We can pay our wealth engineers, and we pay out to our wealth engineers in the form of 2 ways: the returns program and the rewards program. Right? So those are the 2 ways to benefit. We're going to go through the returns program. The returns program is the ability to make that recurring income every single month. It is the most important program here. That's why we're going to discuss it first. So we pay out a base return fee of 27.50 Rand for every product that you have in your channel. Right? So remember the slide with your channel, all the dots on the screen. You could be potentially earning money for every single dot that you saw on that screen, right? But it's dependent on whether the dots, the product, lies in relation to you. So the first 5 people that you introduced personally to DuePoint, that product lies on what we call your first point, because relationally to you, it is 1 point away, right? So these are the personal introductions. On point 1, you earn double the 27.50 Rand. You're earning 55 Rand for every product. And then when those people go out and connect other people to DuePoint, that product lies on your second point. And again, on your second point, you're earning 55 Rand for every product. So quick calculation, you've got 10 people, you're earning 550 Rand a month. Got 20 people, you're earning 1,100 Rand every month, right? So on and so forth. Then as your channel starts to grow and the product gets further away from you, that multiplier starts to reduce. By point 8, you're earning 4% of the 27.50 Rand. Right? But you can see there's a little plus next to that 0.8. It means that we don't limit you at 0.8. So you'll carry on whether you like it or not. Your channel will grow and grow and grow. Beyond 0.8, I mean, in 2 years, we've got some people, their channels are sitting beyond 0.30 already. You can carry on earning beyond 0.8. The 4% will stay fixed from 0.8 in theory to infinity. There is absolutely no limit on the size of your channel. There is no limit on how much money you can earn at DuePoint, right? So that's the mechanics of the returns. Then as consumers, we want to know, how much money am I going to earn here at DuePoint? When will I be rich? Or wealthy, as Rob says. When will I be wealthy? People want to get an idea of whether their time that they're going to invest in the business is worthwhile. Right? A very important question. Is my time worthwhile being invested into this business? I want to understand how much money, how soon I can make that money. So we have a projection over the next 5 years that we built to give an idea of what you could be earning over a 5-year period. It's based on an activity assumption. That activity assumption is what we call 3 + 2. It assumes in your first month you can connect 3 people to the business in your first month. Right? So let's call it September, because we're right at the end of August. So in September, you're going to connect 3 people into the business. Then every consecutive month thereafter, you only have to connect 2. If you can follow that activity, you can expect these numbers, right? So after 6 months, you'll be earning about 2,500 Rand a month. See, now this is always my opportunity to demonstrate how we think as consumers. So let's say this morning, 25th of August was your lucky morning. And I hid 2,500 rand under everybody's seats this morning. So just feel if you've got an envelope under your chair. You didn't get an envelope. There's no envelopes. Okay. But let's imagine there was an envelope. And that 2,500 rand, oh, you were so happy you got 2,500 rand for doing nothing. Put it in your wallet or into your handbag. How long will that money last? Think about it now. We're at the end of the month. It's Saturday. Right? That's a double whammy. End of the month and Saturday. The only thing that might lead you not to spend that money is that you don't want to go to the shops because it's too busy. Right? How long will the 2,500 rand last? Think about that in your mind. And that is exactly how consumers think. Because I bet no one, maybe one or two, no one decided, oh, I'm going to pay a little bit extra into my car installment. I'm going to pay a little bit extra into my bond. I'm going to put it into my overdraft. I'm going to pay off my Edgar's account. You all went, ooh, dinner tonight is going to be good. Right? That's how consumers think. I think like that all the time. I catch myself constantly thinking like a consumer. I give money spending value all the time. Right? We have to stop thinking like that. If your aspiration is to start building wealth, if you want to be a wealthy person one day, you have to start changing your thought process and your behavior. And the behavior that you have to change is when you start creating additional income, is to use additional income to empower you to get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. Because getting rid of debt is the same thing as investing. It is the same thing. What you're doing is you're taking money, and instead of giving it face value, you're looking at it and going, I can actually make more out of this money than just 2,500 rand. And I'll illustrate it to you. You've got debt. In this case, this person's got 1 million rand of debt, right? They got a bond. They found a property. They didn't have the 1 million rand cash. They went to the bank. The bank gave them the loan. They entered into a bond agreement. The bond agreement had a term, 20 years typically, and an agreement on the interest rate. In this case, the interest rate might be prime plus 2, right? At prime plus 2 on 1 million rand over 20 years, you're paying back 11,500 rand a month. For how long? 20 years. 240 payments you'll make back to the bank over a 20-year period, and then that 240th payment, you'll get an email from the bank saying, where would you like us to send your title deed papers to? And for the first time in your life, you've become a property owner. But 20 years back, you joined DuePoint, and 6 months after doing DuePoint, adding 2 people a month, you got to 2,500 rand, and you remember Rob saying, stop spending the money. And you decide to put the money as an additional payment into your bond. What is the net effect of that? Putting 20% extra about, right? 2,500 rand on the 11,500 rand, you're putting about 20% extra. You don't pay the bond off 20% faster, you pay the bond off nearly 50% faster. Because compound interest is an amazing thing. The banks know exactly how compound interest work, right? We don't really have a sense of appreciation around compound interest. We never talked about it. You'll pay that bond off in 11.5 years. It'll save you just under 900,000 rand in interest payments that you would have made to the bank. Little 2,500 rand can save you nearly 1 million rand. You are just getting warmed up. At month 12, you're earning in excess of 100,000 rand in annual recurring income. Imagine coming to DuePoint and picking up 100,000 rand check every December. Wouldn't that change your life? 100,000 rand check. I wish I could say to DuePoint, just keep my money every month, because I know I'm going to spend it. Just keep it for me, and then in December I'll come pick it up. Right? It'll change your December. December's such a bittersweet month, isn't it? Expensive month. But then the suffering follows. The suffering follows in January. So it's a good time to come pick it up. Maybe pick it up in January. It's probably better to pick it up in January. At month 24, you are close to 30,000 rand a month, right? This is the leverage that exists. Your success is never dependent solely on you. It depends on those strong people that you bring into the business. At month 36, so 3 months from today, you're now at 50,000 rand. Another wonderful illustration, month 30, 36,000 rand a month. Again, you're faced with a choice. Do I spend the 36,000 rand I'm getting extra every month? Or do I do a very boring thing and put it into my bond? If you put it into a bond, and yeah, we've got an example of a high flyer, a 5 million rand house. They put that extra money into their bond, they'll pay a 5 million rand house off in less than 7 years. Pay your debt off, now start buying assets. Don't incur more debt, buy more assets, right? So it might take you another 7 years to pay off the next asset, but you are empowered now to go buy another 5 million rand house, and then a third 5 million rand house. And over 21 years, you would have paid off all those assets. When you retire, you now have 3 property assets and a DuePoint asset. It doesn't matter if your active income ends, because you go home to a house you paid off 14 years ago. You've got 2 other properties that you're renting out for 40,000, 50,000 rand a month each, and you're getting money from DuePoint while you sit on the stoop doing nothing. Right? This is the decision that we have to make. This is the future that you have to design yourself. You have to become architects of the life you want. You can't let the economy and your job and what your boss thinks of you blow you around and just end up wherever you end up. We have to start thinking about these things now. At month 48, you're close to 70,000 rand a month. And after 5 years, theoretically, with all of this activity and duplication, you'll be close to 1 million rand in extra income annually. Throw the 100,000 rand check, come in January, pick up a 1 million rand check. Imagine holding a 1 million rand check in your hand. People think you won the lotto. All right, you tell them, I haven't won the lotto, I get this every year. Imagine the story you can tell when your income from DuePoint starts exceeding your income from your day job. When you can tell people I earn more on my part-time job than I do in my day job. That'll be a good story. That'll get people listening. I'll say, what are you doing? Sit down, I'm going to tell you. Right? There's so much empowering liberation in this process. But it is only academic. It's theory. Right? And so it is very important for us to bring real people up onto stage that are doing this business. They're not all superstars. Right? So we like to bring up people that have just started. We've got people that are maybe 2 years down the road that aren't doing 3 + 2 every month. We bring up everybody. But the one thing that combines all of these people, the one common trait, is that none of them have given up. None of them have given up. Right? And so we got Renee and Henny. So a lovely couple. She's hilarious. Used to work in real estate, right? You guys know Renee well. So they joined 6 months ago. The value of their channel is sitting at 1,600 rand a month. By the way, consumers, stop thinking, oh, that's not a lot of money. I can only get 3 bags at Woolworths with 1,600 rand, right? Investment value of 1,600 rand is the equivalent of having nearly 400,000 rand in a bank account giving you 5% annually. Think about that. They created that in 6 months, right? Personal activity, you can see they added 14 people personally to their channel. That's translated into 33 people, or 33 products in their channel. So that's the power duplication. And their biggest aspiration is to get to 1,000 products, because when you get to 1,000 products, you see at the bottom there, they only got 967 to go. To get to 1,000, they get to rank 9. And when they get to rank 9, they get to enjoy a holiday, an international conference holiday with DuePoint every single year for the rest of their lives. So that's their motivation. Then we've got Dani. So we've got 2 superstars up, Dani van Wyk. And we look at his journey from 0 to 1,000 products. Except when he hit rank 9, he was suddenly at 1,200 products. He just went straight through that 1,000 barrier, straight to 1,200 in a single month, right? So that took him 16 months to do. What did that look like? Well, in his first month, he only connected 1 person. But then what happened was, because he was skeptical, he didn't want to come to the DuePoint presentation. He only came to it because he wanted to less likely go with his daughters to some other event. It was like a girls' party or something. He was like, no, I'd rather go to the DuePoint presentation. Right? Fortunately for him. So maybe he had a little more skepticism in that first month. But what happened was his belief started to increase in the business, the opportunity that was available, and he started averaging 5 new people into his business every single month. That led him to 1,200 products in his channel after 16 months. Right? You get to 1,200 products, you're earning between 20 and 30,000 a month. And then in terms of people that he helped, so this business is not only about yourself, it's about collaboration. He helped 13 people personally start earning money in 16 months, right? As a direct result of him connecting them and supporting them in this business. Then we've got Patrick and Pumi. They took 11 months to get there. Maybe because they were working together as a team, it helps. Nearly 1,400 products. So in a single month, they shot from under 1,000 to nearly 1,400 in the space of 30 days. Their channel grew by 400 products in 30 days, right? That's great leverage. Great leverage. Let's see what it looked like. Their first month, they put in 14. Sure, they trusted us straight off the bat. Straight off the bat to put 14 people successfully into the business in their first month. They then averaged 8 a month. And they, too, by the time they got to rank 9 to 1,000 products, they had helped 13 other people start earning on their first point. All right? So that's what it looks like. We have got tons of testimonies on our YouTube channel. Go look, just so that you can see how people are doing it, what their experiences are. These are all videos. Barry and Pumi will tell you how they got there, how it felt, that it wasn't all roses, right? Lots of difficulty, lots of frustration. People let you down constantly. Have you noticed that? Not always, but they will. They will. There's always a little bit of failure, but the persistence is what counts, the endurance. So like I said, we've got thousands of people joining this business all the time, every month. You need to decide what you want out of this business, right? And once you've decided what you want out of this business, you can decide whether it's going to be worth it. That's my question. At the end of every testimony, I say to the wealth engineers, has it been worth it? This journey of 6 months, this journey of 16 months, 11 months, of 2.5 years, has it been worth it? Well, they're up on stage. They've got to say, yes, it's been worth it. I'm going to keep pushing, right? But that's something you will evaluate constantly. And for me, the decision really is not, do you want? Everybody wants. Do you want a R1 million check a year? Yes, please. Take 3. Right? It's easy to want. It is a fleeting thought that happens in your mind. Yes, I want to be wealthy. I want this. The decision practically is, what does it look like to fit this business into your life? That's what I want you to decide by the end of this presentation. Because I can show you what people are doing. I can promise you all these things, and the system is the same for everybody. The differentiating factor is whether people are willing to commit to getting it, right? That is the decision you need to make. Joining is very easy. Become a wealth engineer in 7 minutes. Do the application form online or on the mobile app with the person that brought you here or introduced you. But then more importantly, because becoming a wealth engineer is actually a non-event, the most important thing is applying yourself to this business, right? Read the code of conduct. That's a good starting point. Go check out the training and the testimonies, right? There's so much information and knowledge on our YouTube channel. Go look at that stuff. Set goals for yourself. A goal is something you write down with a deadline. Put it up on the fridge if you have to, because it's the only way to keep yourself accountable to the plan that you set up to reach the goal. So if you want also to get 1,000 products in 12 months, well, what's your plan to get to 1,000? I can tell you what the plan comes down to. It comes down to how many people you're willing to speak to a month. That is the only metric that matters in your life as a DuePoint wealth engineer. How many people do I need to speak to every single month? Doesn't matter if they say yes or no. Don't worry about it. That's another metric. You don't have control over that metric. The metric you have control over is how many people do I speak to every day, right? And that's the only thing you have to worry about. That's a great thing. That's the only thing you have to worry about in this business, right? It becomes so simple. Get the merchandise. The merchandise paints a picture of credibility and trust. No transaction can take place without trust, right? You have to paint this picture of credibility. You've got to treat people professionally, regardless of your emotions. You've got to look like you take the business that you're purporting to be wonderful seriously. If you sit down and you've got nothing, right, and you say, I've got this beautiful business, I'm going to show you all about it, and then you tear the little corner of your diary off to write your name and number on, and you say, call me later. Right? I've been in advertising. That is exactly what you don't want to do. You want to be professional, right? Branding is not only about what the logo looks like. Branding is everything. It is your hair, whether you shave or not, what you wear, how you speak, how you present yourself. Everything contributes to branding. And branding is about credibility. Credibility creates trust. And if you have trust, you'll be more successful in everything, not only in building your channel. So get the merchandise. It'll help you. Join our Facebook page. Plenty of stuff happening there. YouTube, all our videos. More importantly, YouTube is our live stream. So we broadcast this presentation you're sitting in live 8 times a week. I've been doing it for 2.5 years. Can you see the bags under my eyes? He's nodding. Right? It is your opportunity to build this business anywhere in South Africa overnight without any cost to you. Because all you have to do is go, I know a guy in Cape Town. You phone that guy in Cape Town and you say, I'm sending you a link. Click on the link. This is what it's about. You're going to watch a presentation. I'm going to phone you after the presentation. You have just grown your channel in another town without any expense overnight. Right? Use that technology. Download the mobile app. That is your business on your mobile phone. It is business in the palm of your hand, in your pocket. Right? Convenience, once again. Then on to our rewards program. So the rewards program is the cherry on top. It's not as important as the returns program, right? But the rewards program is really where we get to have fun. And a lot of people connect with the rewards program because they get so excited because it's very shiny and it's got pretty things. You can see already palm trees and beach. How does this work? Once you become a wealth engineer today, you will start out as rank 0. So this is all the ranks in the rewards program. You'll start at rank 0. Can you see there's rank 0 on the slide? No, right? Because you're not worth anything yet. You need to get to rank 1. This has to be your first goal, right? Your first goal. You need 1,000 XP. XP is called experience points. It's an indicator of how active you are as a wealth engineer because we give you experience points for everything that you do as a wealth engineer, right? So 1,000 XP take you like 10 seconds. 4 products in your channel, right? So you need 4 products in your qualified channel. And when you meet those 2 criteria, you become a rank 1 wealth engineer. You are on the slide. You're on the board. You're in the game. And we give you an extra 55 Rand so you can go buy a cupcake and celebrate. You might be thinking I'm being facetious. I'm being serious. Because what you've just proven to yourself is that there is no excuse for you not to get to rank 20. Because the rank 20s are doing exactly the same thing as the rank 1s. Exactly the same thing. The only difference? Time. They've just been doing it for longer than you, right? That's why I have an obsessiveness over what makes people endure. What makes people tolerate a little bit of pain in their lives. Fortunately, this is not Hell Week. This is just a business where we have to speak to people, okay? And as you rank up, the rewards get bigger and better. There are big checks waiting for you. There are tools that we give to our wealth engineers to empower them in connecting other people more successfully. At rank 7, we talk about credibility. We give you business cards that cost us 12,500 Rand to manufacture per set that we do in your name personalized. You will have these business cards, right? The most expensive business cards in the country. Think about that for a second. You will have business cards that no one else has in the country. When you sit down and you've got the CEO of De Beers, Anglo-American, and SA Breweries sitting there, and you all put your business cards down on the table, who's going to look the sharpest and the most credible? And what are they going to say? What is that business all about? And then you will have the CEOs of those businesses in your channel. Right? Business is about credibility, believe me. At rank 9, our first recurring reward. All the other ones are once-offs. But at rank 9, you get to enjoy our international conference every single year for the rest of your life. We take you and your family to our international conference. It's 7 days away, all expenses paid trip, right? At a 5-star luxury resort. So if any of you were in my training, I went to a comedy evening last night. Sure, I laughed at this comedy evening. It was Nelson Mandela's 100-year centenary. They had some wonderful, it's at Monte Casino if you want to go watch it. They had Mark Lottering, my cousin Barry Hilton, and they had a new guy. A young comedian, very young comedian, but he's supposedly the hottest stuff on the show at the moment. His name's Mpo. His nickname's Pops. Right, young guy. And he talks about his experience on business class for the first time when he had to go do a gig in Nigeria. Right? It was hilarious. When I tell you about Rank 9, I want you to think about what Rank 9 feels like. Because Mpo, when he went on his first Rank 9 trip, he connected with all these emotions that stuck out for him, that showed him the difference between business class and economy class. Economy class, you take your luggage trolley, right? And when you're walking to economy class, you're just on that normal tiled floor and your trolley's going clack, 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 clack. He says, but when you get to business class, they put out a red mat for you so that your trolley doesn't make a noise. It just goes That's these subtle differences, because what Rank 9 is all about is you and your family experiencing what it feels like to be truly wealthy. To give you an idea of what DuePoint has in store for you. Because when you get beyond Rank 9, you'll get to a point where you can take any business class 5-star holiday anytime you like because you can afford it. Right, so take a look at what Rank 9 is all about. We documented our last trip in December.
Gone and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sand where no one can see you stand.